Have you been in an event production meeting or on-site an event and you have heard the term stinger? And maybe your mind is thinking instantly to like a bee sting or something like that, and you're a little confused about what it means. Well, I'm going to explain what a stinger is, how you use it at your next event so that you are more in the know at your next on-site event or in your next production meeting. Before we jump into it, I'm Logan Clements. I'm a freelance event producer based in Seattle, Washington, but I execute events all over the world. I do want to remind you to like, subscribe, turn on that little notification bell so you get notified every single Monday when I drop new videos. I am also the co-host of the Better Events podcast. I host it with fellow event pro Mary Davidson, and we drop episodes every single Wednesday wherever you listen to podcasts. We have great episodes on everything from tips and tricks for your next fundraising gala to how to navigate the world of freelance, your business finances as a small business owner. There's a lot of free content there, so I highly encourage you to give it a listen. So we're talking about stingers, and I should caveat this because I am really passionate about making sure there's no gatekeeping here in the event industry. We can have a lot of vernacular and jargon that if you don't know, it can make you feel very out of the loop. And so trust me, if you are the person who heard the word stinger in a meeting and you wrote it down and you're Googling it now and now you're finding me to explain it, great job. Because honestly, that is my number one tactic. If I don't understand a term and I don't feel like I'm in necessarily a receptive space to say that I don't understand that term, I will write it down and Google it later. If you're in a great environment where you can pull someone aside later and be like, hey, can you just explain what you meant by stinger? That can help. But here I am. Hi, Logan, an event producer. So what is a stinger? A stinger is another word for a music cue that we use and it's a stinger because it's just like a short little spurt of music. We usually play it as a transition. So this could be anytime when a speaker's coming on stage or a speaker's coming off stage, or even if maybe you're doing like a formal photo of some form, anytime where maybe there's not someone speaking and we just don't want to have that silence. You might also hear it referred to as play-on music or play-off music, walk-on music or walk-off music. But I also often am hearing the term stinger. And so again, not a bee sting, but a little clip of music. Now, depending on your production setup, you will be able to use stingers that are like full-blown, full-length songs that you're then just your A2 or your A1, your audio person is just bringing up the volume up and then they're bringing it down when the person starts speaking. Or you can get as specific as actually having like a clip, an MP3 file of the exact clip that you want to play. Think, again, I love sports here if you've watched a couple of my videos. So think like in baseball, they have a walk-up song. It's very famous for every player. They usually change it up. But that kind of thing where there's a specific clip of a song that they want. And these are really fun to play around with. I highly encourage you, if you are doing an event and you're thinking about and you have the capability to play these stingers, like getting intentional with your music. And I apologize, audio folks, if you're listening, because you probably hate me when I come to you with 25 music files for our award show because we have custom walk-on music for all of our award winners. But I think it is just such a magical, little thing, like the right music played at the right time is such a skill. And that's why DJs have a job. You might experience a good DJ at a wedding and maybe you can't tell the difference between a really good DJ or, an okay DJ and a bad DJ, but the really good ones, think back to it. It's like they knew what to play at the right moment. And not every event is able to afford having a live DJ at your event. So these stingers are a fun way to kind of inject some of that musical intentionality without necessarily having to have a live DJ there in person. So that's a stinger. They can be, I'd say another final example before I let you go would just be like the Oscars. They play a music bed is another way to call it, but usually I think of a music bed as something I talk over. So when they're playing off someone, when someone is giving a speech and they're talking too long, they'll start bringing in the music, trying to play off that person. And that could be described as a stinger. You might hear some event converts who have very specific language for a stinger is a short little clip we play versus a play on or a play off. To me, it does not matter. But just know, if you hear the term stinger, you're talking about music, you're talking about a music file, and it's usually being used in transitions. Well, that's all I have for you folks. I'm Logan Clements. I'm a freelance event producer based in Seattle, Washington, and I've taught you a little bit more about what a stinger is, so you're more in the know at your next event or your next production meeting. And as always, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.